A critical inquiry proposal on the emergence of solar power for buildings. My name is Lydia Okodogbe, a student at the University of Hertfordshire. For the critical inquiry research, I'm presenting this proposal on the topic, the emergence of solar power for buildings. Due to the increasing rates and cost of energy around the world, most users, as well as professionals in the building industries, are turning to alternative, reliable, and cost-effective sources of power for their building projects. These sources, just like conventional electricity sources, are being incorporated into the designs and structures of the building projects. One of the sources that has become very popular and reliable is solar power, which is an electricity source derived from solar panels. The invention of solar panel can be dated as far back as over 1.5 centuries ago. It's worthy of note that the use of solar power was meant to be an alternative means of power and never a replacement for any of the conventional electricity sources. But currently prevailing power supplies around the world, amongst other factors, has given rise to the reliance on the solar source as a main source of power. The use of solar power is growing in popularity, is becoming the first and preferred choice for most buildings around the world, especially in developing countries and among advocates of sustainable buildings. However, it is not without its pros and cons. My main aim is to critically understand solar energy as a power source, and in doing this, I will be looking at issues and debates. Some issues and debates that I have identified as surrounding the use of solar power as a better alternative source of electricity for buildings, and we'll be investigating through my research in this inquiry includes ethical and sustainability issues surrounding the use of solar power in building design and construction, myths surrounding the use of solar panels, issues on lack of policies in production and uses of solar panels, issues and debates surrounding the cost of solar energy. Research questions. What are solar panels? How does it differ from the conventional electricity? In order to carry out this research inquiry, I'll be looking at understanding the term solar panels, its meaning, and also try to gain a better understanding of what the conventional electricity is, as well as what makes them different. What are the specific terminologies that are related to solar panels if they exist? Through this inquiry, I'll be researching into various terminologies that are common with solar panels. This is to ensure that no knowledge is missed in my studies while gathering information, and to also enable me to communicate same to my audience. I also intend to identify some misused terms associated with both sources. What are the historic and cultural backgrounds surrounding the use of solar panel? This inquiry, we have an in-depth look into the historic and cultural background of the advent of solar power with a critical look into the origin and how it has evolved over time across cultures. Why is solar panel becoming an increasing topic for power generation in the design and building industry? I also intend to look at the growing popularity of the subject of solar power among several practitioners. My work will allow me to look into the works of other practitioners who have made solar power a key part of their projects, how they have substituted sources, and how it was integrated into their designs and projects. Is solar panel a substitute or a replacement for conventional electricity? My work will be looking critically into one of the reasons behind this inquiry, which is to see and to establish if the use of solar is a substitute or a replacement to the conventional electricity source. Are there countries where there is a complete reliance on solar power? In order to understand the assertions, if there are countries where there are growing reliance on solar power, I will be studying the various sources of power generation and their effectiveness in some countries around the world. This might lead me to carry out some case studies so as to arrive at the required findings. How safe and cost-effective is the use of solar power for electricity? The safety of the use of solar panel will be looked into from health and well-being perspective, as well as from a perspective of sustainability. What are the innovations in the use of solar power? I will also be researching on the innovations that have been recorded since the inception of solar power with the aim of getting a better understanding and also placing it at the forefront of my discipline. Does the future look promising for the use of solar power? In conclusion of my work, I will be analyzing my findings so as to come up with a conclusive or maybe not so conclusive report that other researchers can build on in ascertaining the future of the use of solar power while understanding its position in the list of electricity generating sources available to man. Methods. Proposed methods for collecting and analyzing data. Proposed methods to be used for collecting data to be evaluated for this research include primary research methods such as cross-sectional studies, which includes case study, experimental study of solar artifacts. Sources will include academic books, scholarly journals and publications, online articles and publications, works and designs of other practitioners.